Hello everyone and welcome back to What the Florida, a show where in each episode we do a deep dive into a distinctly Florida subject. I'm your host and Professional Floridian Kim, and on today's episode we're going to be discussing the terrifying world of sinkholes. When you think of Florida, there is a lot to be concerned about. We have meth gators, we have Florida men, we have the constant onslaught of hurricanes. But we also have sinkholes. That's right, even quicksand is kind of real here. Later in this video, I'm going to be visiting a very real, very old sinkhole called the Devils Millhopper. But we'll get to that a little bit later. For now, let me educate you a little bit more on the what, why, when, where, and how of sinkholes. So, what are sinkholes and how do they occur? A sinkhole is a cavity in the ground caused by water erosion. That's right, we're getting scientifical in this episode. They can vary anywhere in size from a few feet to hundreds of acres wide. They can be anywhere from less than a foot deep to over 100 feet deep. A few famous examples of sinkholes in Florida are the 1962 sinkhole that occurred at a Jacksonville high school, the sinkhole in 2013 that took out homes, boats, and even a pool in Dunedin, and the 1991 house-swallowing sinkhole in Frostproof. Sinkholes are common where the rock below the land surface is either limestone, carbonate rock, salt beds, or just any rocks that can naturally be dissolved by the groundwater circulating beneath them. Now, Florida is not the only state that suffers from these natural occurrences. Texas, Alabama, Missouri, Kentucky, Tennessee, and Pennsylvania are all also prone to sinkholes. There are actually very few states that are safe from the occurrence. However, Florida is more susceptible to them due to the bed of limestone that most of the state is resting on. As you can see, a majority of the cases of Florida sinkholes occur in the West, Central, and North Florida. They call this area Sinkhole Alley as it is accounted for more than 2/3 of sinkhole insurance claims from 2006 to 2010. When do sinkholes occur? While there isn't necessarily a sinkhole season, the main trigger of sinkholes is Florida, either too much of it or not enough of it. During droughts, the cavities that are typically supported by groundwater underneath become unstable. Likewise, with heavy rainstorms, the weight of pooled water can put a strain on the limestone and wash out cavities. That being said, in 2017, Central Florida was in a severe drought. So when Hurricane Irma came around and dumped days worth of water on the area, it opened up a sea of sinkholes. Of course, Mother Nature is not the only cause of sinkholes. They're actually more likely to occur in urban areas than rural. And that makes sense, right? The more weight you put on unstable ground, the faster it's going to collapse. That is a lesson the Villages, a town in Marion County, Florida, are learning the hard way. Linked below is an excellent article from smithsonianmag.com detailing some of the bigger issues regarding sinkholes in that specific area. You can also find the rest of the sites that I used as research for my video today if you'd like to learn more. It is important to learn more about these sinkholes because they are responsible for so much of Florida's ever-sinking lake-heavy landscape. For instance, Lake Rose in Winter Park, Florida actually started as a sinkhole. 40 years ago, the ground underneath May Rose Owens' house opened up and swallowed it whole. Thankfully, the woman was okay and her community rallied together to raise $50,000 to help her buy a new plot of land to rebuild, but the overall damage of the sinkhole totaled $4 million, and that's in 1980s money. The lake was later renamed Lake Rose in her honor. So now that you have a bit of an idea of what sinkholes are and why they occur, I think it's time we go visit them. Onward to the Devils Millhopper State Park.
The Devils Millhopper State Park is located in Gainesville, Florida. The Devils Millhopper State Park is located in Gainesville, Florida, which is about 2 hours north of Orlando. It costs $4 per car and $2 per pedestrian bicyclist to enter. It's a cash-only self-paying park. You pull up, put your cash in an envelope, put the envelope in the drop box, and you're good to go. We arrived on a Saturday morning about an hour after the park opened, and it was very quiet. The ranger station is right at the front as you arrive. There you can find a corkboard of park information, very clean bathrooms that smell like the 1980s, and a small museum of information all about the sinkhole, how it's formed, why it's formed, and some of the animal bones they'd found inside over the years. On Saturday mornings, rangers do guided tours at 10 a.m., but we had just missed it. Once you get past the ranger station, you're met with a choice. You can head left for the sinkhole or right for the nature trail. The trail at the Devils Millhopper State Park is half a mile long. It is usually a loop, but due to some damage sustained from Hurricane Irma in 2017, the bridge that made the trail a loop is closed. So for now, it is a down and back, but that's alright because it's a pretty easy trail. And that's coming from someone like me who does not do hiking. The path is well paved, it is not very long, and is fully flat the entire way. It did get a little muddy in some spaces, but Florida rains a lot, so that happens. Dogs are allowed in the park as long as they are well behaved and kept on 6-foot leashes. There's also a small picnic area near the entrance of the park, so do bring a lunch and enjoy it there. Don't forget to bring bug spray. I got bit while I was on the trail, so it never hurts to have it. Alright, enough about the nature trail. I'll have a Florida State Parks video sometime in the future, but this is a sinkhole video, so let's talk about the Devils Millhopper. It is unknown how old the sinkhole itself is, but we do know that people have been visiting it as a tourist attraction since the 1880s. The sinkhole is 120 feet deep and 500 feet across. There's a staircase at the park that allows you to actually go down into the sinkhole as well. There are 132 newly renovated stairs heading down into the hole. It's a pretty easy walk for someone who is even mildly active, though if you need a break, there are plenty of spots along the staircase to step to the side and catch your breath. Once you're at the bottom, you're treated to some real magic. Water trickles down through openings in the rocks, and plants line the walls of the sinkhole. Down below the staircase is a small pool of water. I'm not sure if it's always there or if it's especially wet due to all the rain we've been getting, but we did see some turtles swimming along. There are all kinds of plants, animals, and rocks to be found in this geological wonderland. The exposed slopes of the sinkhole offer evidence of Florida over the past 20 million years. In the lower layer, fossil shark teeth and marine shells represent a time when the sea covered this area. Fossil and bone of land animals found in the upper layers provide a time frame for when the seas receded. The Devils Millhopper gets its name from the funnel-like shape. In the 1800s, farmers would grind grain in the grist mills. The funnel container on the top was known as a hopper. When bones and teeth were found at the bottom, it became known as the Devils Millhopper. The legend of the Devils Millhopper is as follows. There was once a beautiful Indian princess who lived in a village near the location of present-day Devils Millhopper. The devil wanted to marry the princess, but she wanted nothing to do with him. One day, he decided to kidnap her, so he grabbed her and ran. Upon hearing this, the Indian braves were deeply saddened and began to chase the devil and the princess. As the braves began to get closer, the devil created a huge sinkhole for them to fall into, and that's the Devil's Millhopper you see today. It's said when the braves tried to climb out of the sinkhole, the devil turned them to stone. To this day, it is said the weeping water from the stone along the slopes of the Devil's Millhopper are the tears the Indian braves shed for the beautiful princess. All in all, the Devils Millhopper State Park is a wonderful little park, home to a unique geological wonder.
And that is a wrap on the Devils Millhopper. Pretty cool geology we have here in the Sunshine State. What did y'all think? Have you ever heard of the Devils Millhopper before, and would you visit it now that you know a little more about sinkholes? Are you even more terrified of Florida now that you know that we're minutes away from sinking at any moment? Let me know in the comments down below. Leave a like and share this video if you liked it. Subscribe if you haven't already. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Bye!